Hello, everybody. It's been an interesting week here. Today we are going to stitch on Mirabilia Lady Justuce. And I guess it would help if I have different things ready to go here, but I don't. And see how it goes today. Oh, that'll work. It hasn't been too bad of a week, to be honest. Lydia's... Whoa. I've been busy doing a bunch of stuff. And you know what? I'm gonna pause this. Okay, I had to move the scroll frame down. Find out where I am. So Miss Lydia's birthday was yesterday. And she is now officially 8 years old, and she's super stoked and excited. We had quite a few days that were like really nice and sunny out, and then now we're back down to, man, it's kind of cold out there, and I want to hibernate again. Lydia got Student of the Month. It was her birthday month, plus she got Student of the Month this month, so she was very happy and excited over that. And she got to do her award ceremony. My husband and I attended that. It's been very busy because my friend has 2 training dogs at her training and grooming facility, and we let the dogs out at night for her because she lives like a 30-minute drive from her facility versus where my husband and we live 10 minutes away. I don't even think it's a full 10 minutes away from her facility. And so we've been doing that. Those training dogs were only in for 2 weeks, so they'll go back. They'll go home Friday. Excuse me. And this one dog there is named Annie, and she's a Labradoodle. And she's very attached to me. I don't know. My best friend, she said, like, I don't understand why she's so attached to you, because you don't look like your owner. A lot of the times, like when we get the dogs and stuff like that in, they tend to become like super friendly and super excited with the person that looks closer to their owner, because they're in a strange place and they're being trained, and so on and so forth. But there's this little dog. She's not little, but she's a puppy. She's 7 months old, and her name is Annie. And I don't know why, but she just loves the heck out of me, and I don't mind. She's so sweet. And we had to start to socialize her. It's the only way I could think of putting it. And she has just become obsessed with me. Every time I go up there at night to go and let her out, and and stuff, she just goes bonkers. She's jumping all around. She's going crazy and gets the zoomies and is zooming all over the place and is so excited to see me, and so it's always nice. Lydia had a fantastic birthday. We give our children a certain amount of money for their birthday, and then we take them what we call birthday shopping, and they get to pick where we go and everything that comes with it. So it's kind of like their one-on-one time with just mom and dad. So like they really appreciate that, you know, not just, you know, that they're going out and spending all kinds of money, which is always, you know, everybody's favorite kind of thing, but it's their time where, you know, we usually take them out for like something to eat, and, you know, we go shopping wherever they want to go shopping, and they spend the money that mom and dad gave them. And so Lydia had so much fun doing that. And Theo. So we figured out what Mr. Theo and Miss Cam were going off about. We have, well, around here, I don't know, I'm assuming it's probably all throughout Pennsylvania, it's called pen lines. And they go and essentially like cut like trees and stuff back from the power lines and stuff. And they have, so the driveway for our house goes down along the side of our house, and then right next to our driveway, like literally we have to make sure we keep the branches and stuff trimmed back, or otherwise you'll scrape your car along it, is a line of trees. And there's a power line that goes along that tree line there. So they are trying to get into my driveway they're trying to get their giant truck into the driveway to get the trees trimmed. And with how tall that truck is, I don't know why they don't make a note for, like, you know, the following year that they can't get the truck down the driveway because of the power lines that connect to the house. They sit lower. So they're currently out there trying to get the truck down the line so they can do that. They don't realize yet that it's not possible. They're going to have to, you know, climb the tree and trim it that way. Well, the trees, because there's a bunch of pine trees there. And so Theo and Kimmy are gonna go crazy, and I'm just like, of course, it's gonna be on the day that I decided to record. Of course it is. Why wouldn't it be? But we've had a good week. We were able to mow our lawn for the first time this year. We got to mow Grandma Joanne's lawn for the first year, and a couple of our clients' lawns for the first time this year. So we've been extremely busy because we've been going out and weeding people's flower beds and just getting a bunch of stuff done. And I've been busy making different things for my cross stitch that I've wanted but didn't want to make, but then I saw the price of them, and then it was just kind of like, all right, you know, I am a stay-at-home mom. We do live somewhat, like, we live on a budget because I am a stay-at-home mom, so we have to be there's not an excessive amount of money for us to just go out and, spend willy-nilly. And I've been wanting scroll frame covers because my husband, he makes my scroll frames for me, and it's not like it's hard. And then I just buy, let me see if I can show you. There's one right there. We'll just move you this way for a second. See the clip right here? So he takes, set you back up so that way you're not so, he takes pretty thick dowel rods and then a router bit, and he runs it down the router bit, and then I just buy those clamps, and that's how I put my fabric onto my scroll rods. And I have quite a few of them. And usually once I put a project on one, like that's staying there like that. I cannot stand putting stuff on and off of my scroll frames. It drives me nuts. Once it's on there, and then usually I'll just do it that way. But anyways, so I have quite a few of these projects on scroll frames, and I hate taking off the sidebars. Like, I hate taking off, oh, I wonder if you guys can hear that out there. Well, sorry for the background noise if you can hear it. Hopefully you can't, because I can barely hear it. But I want to protect these, especially the ones that I've hand dyed myself, because I do all kinds of stuff to them to try and make it so that way, all the excess dye and everything else is out, and so on and so forth. But I don't think it's color fast. So, if you get something on it, it's kind of on it. So I wanted to make sure that I do something to protect these so they don't get ruined. So I got fabric and I started, measuring everything out to make scroll rod covers. The ones that will, fold over and completely, this is essentially in a case to protect them without having to take off the sidebars or do anything. And then I was like, I kind of want some, being we're outside and we're working a lot and stuff, I kind of want some of the scroll rod crime cards. So then I started making my own ones of these. And I think I've done an okay job with them. They're on there. They fit. So I'm pretty happy with that. And so I've been doing a lot of that stuff. So I haven't got as much time to stitch because, like I said, I was making those things. And listen, I'm not a great sewer. I mean, whatsoever. Nothing sort of, fancy or beautiful or anything like that. For me, it was just more so. I don't care if my stitching is straight on my sewing machine. I don't care. As long as it's held together and everything fits the way it's supposed to be, that's all that I care about. So like I said, I was making those, and then we've been going a lot out to a lot of clients and doing landscaping work and mowing grass. Theo, I know they're out there. Relax. No, sir. Go lay down. Theo. No. Thank you. Lay down. Good boy. Lay down. And no, Cam. So I just haven't had much time at all to really sit down and just stitch like I would normally do. I mean, I still got quite a lot of progress on this piece here that I've been working on, but not as much as I would normally get done. So it's just been a busy week. And I'm going to pray to God because they are bringing that truck down my driveway. I really hope they're careful and don't yank the power stuff off the side of my house. They have done that before. Okay, so a few years ago, we started our house. This house was built in 1912. And when we first got it, it had old shingle siding on it, like actual like shingles that you would put on a roof, put onto the outside of the house. And a piece of the foundation needed fixed and things like that. Now, my dad is a contractor. So, I knew we could, all of my life, that's what we've done is, go to houses and fix them. I used to help my dad. We'd go on roofs, and when we were really little, he used to pay us a quarter for if any nails or anything got into somebody's yard, he would pay us a quarter to pick up nails out of the yard. For every nail we found, he would give us a quarter, and we had buckets we used to carry around to try and pick up nails, which I think we may have, it might have cost him like $5 between me and my little sister, that we were picking up nails and stuff that may have accidentally fallen in someone's yard or something. But I've been through the process of taking something ugly and making it pretty, and many, many times, because of the work my dad did. He can no longer do it. And so it wasn't a big deal to me that the house looked, it was not pretty when we bought it whatsoever. So it didn't bother me that it wasn't pretty, because I know how nice you can make a house, if you put the effort into it. But anyways, back to the wiring. I'm worried about them ripping off the wiring to my house because they've done it once before. So I'm worried because when I picked out the colors for my house, I went with it's a darker blue house. It's not like navy blue, but it's not like a royal blue. Like it's a darker blue. And I love the color of this house. But it wasn't something that you could just walk up to the store and pick up and walk out. It was something that they had to order in, and it takes a while to come in and things like that. And the last time they ripped the wire off the house, not only did we, lose power for a couple days because they ripped the power line off the house, it messed up a bunch of other things, and it sliced through quite a bit of our siding, and of course our insurance wouldn't cover it, and then the power company refused to cover it to have it fixed, and it kind of really upset us because it was like $300 and some for one case of the siding. Like, it's pretty stinking expensive, and this was years ago, and the amount of money it would have cost us to hire a lawyer and sue and do all that was more money than it would have cost us to just fix it our darn selves, so we did it ourselves. But I am worried they are going to rip that out of there again. But I just think it's kind of, like, I don't know why they don't put in a memo somewhere that they can't do that. It's not possible to do that down this driveway because it's not our fault that that's where they attach the power lines to the house. Like, it's, I mean, this house is a pretty tall house. So it's a 2-story house. And then the attic, obviously, the attic is the same exact size as the house, but it's not quite a full story. It's, I mean, from the top of the base, from the top of the flooring in the attic to like the highest, if you go for the highest peak, it's Raymond's 6 feet tall, and he can stand up, and like his hair will be brushing against the the peak of the house. So it's not like it's real short or anything. So they could have stuck the power line a heck of a lot higher up, but they didn't, and I don't know why, but they just didn't. And that's just kind of where it is. Okay, so this is the pattern that I printed out. It's pretty blurry. Dang it. But it's hilarious them trying to get into our driveway because it's such a large truck that they have to block a bunch of traffic and stuff to get the truck turned just right to get it down the driveway. But they're coming closer and closer to the power line that they're not going to be able to get under, and it's making me nervous. So yeah, I've been sewing on my sewing machine a lot to make certain things because I went online and I was searching for, like they said, the scroll frame covers. And I was just amazed. I have, how many scroll frames do I have? 1, 2, there's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I have approximately about 15 scroll frames. And I don't know why I thought, it shouldn't be too expensive to buy those. Surely they can't be too expensive. And then I went online and looked, and for quite a few of the sizes that I have are like 24, and some of them are 26, and some of them, the majority of them are 24 because that's the size that I prefer to stitch on. And a couple of them are 26. Some of them are 22 and some of them are 20. And some of them, I believe, are smaller than that too. I don't know. But I was just trying to get enough for the ones that I have. And I quickly found out that, there were a couple of them that were like, I think $35 a piece or something like that. And they were a couple that were even more expensive than that. And I was just like, I can't afford that there's no way I can afford that right now. Like, with the price of everything and stuff, there's no way I can afford that at this time. So I was like, I was like, Brittany, for Christ's sakes, you have the sewing machine. I didn't have fabric, because my mother-in-law and me, the fabric that we do have, we were making curtains for her house. And that stuff there, that's really, really thick and not something I want, to wrap. That's too thick for wrapping around the scroll frame. So I went online, I bought the fabric I wanted. I didn't really care particularly exactly what color it was, as long as it was, worked. It's the kind of fabric I needed. And I did that. And I got it. And started cutting the pieces out. I always struggle with making sure that it's the right size. I don't know why I have that problem, but I do. I struggle with cutting the fabric out and not having it be crazy. But it is what it is. I just square it up later and I don't really worry about it. Got all that stuff done. Got the interfacing put on it. I did the things. Got those, I made the first one, made sure it fit, and it did. And I was like, all right, you achieved a goal. I didn't think it would work that well, and after I finished the first one and got it all done, it's like, man, I understand why some people, charge a lot more for these, because, it took a lot of work to get it just one made, let alone, however many you're gonna make. Yep. And I think I've only completed 5 of those so far. And then I decided, all right, we're going to make the grime guards for the scroll frames too, because, that'll really doubly make sure that, where I rub up against the fabric and things like that works. I know a lot of people will take the bottom one and flip it so that way, the back side of the fabric is what you're rubbing against. But for me, I don't know why, it messes me up and I can't stitch that way. That's not where I wanted to go at all. And so I was like, all right, what do I need to make one of those? And started that process and realized really quickly that I ran out of elastic and so on and so forth, and I was just like, oh, this is gonna be a project and a half. But I got it done. They function, they work, and I'm happy. Oh, I can't read those symbols. So for right now, we'll just skip them. But we got Grandma Joanne's grass mowed and things like that. Her carpet has come in, but the vinyl flooring she's getting ready to get put down has not come in yet, so we're still waiting on that. So, and they're gonna install the floor instead of me, my husband, thank God, because I mean, I don't mind doing it. If she wanted us to, I would do it in a heartbeat. But there's just so much going on right now that I do not want to do any of that. Mark all these off. Because these are the ones I'm sure of what the symbol is. But the other ones up here, I'm not 100% sure. And there's on this pattern, right, well, on this picture, some of them just look like a blob. So I'm not going to take the risk of putting a bunch of stitches somewhere and being completely wrong and have to frog all those stitches. So it's better be safe than sorry here and just say forget about it. Today we have to take my son Damon to a doctor's appointment. It's not that I'm not looking forward to taking him to the doctor's appointment, but I guess it's just like we've been in go 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 mode, you know what I mean? And you just want some time to relax, and I feel like I haven't had the time to relax. This helps though. And at some point in time, let's see if we can get this to focus here. See this little boo-boo? I got a boo-boo somehow, and I have no idea how I did the boo-boo. None whatsoever. I have no idea how I did the boo-boo. I forgot to mark off stitches right here, and if I don't do that, it's gonna mess me up. Right here is where it goes. So yeah, I've been making and making and making. Oh, poopy poopy poop. So, Lydia decided this year we were not going to have cake on her birthday. She wanted brownies. So, I made her brownies with, I just doubled it up and made a thick layer of brownies, so it was kind of like a cake. And then she wanted to have, instead of having like brownies and just ice cream, she decided she wanted to have brownie sundaes. And then she also requested that I make homemade hot fudge for on the brownies. And I was like, Lord, I was like, man, you're really requesting Mom like go all out for your birthday, aren't you? And of course, you know, I did all that. And I mean, homemade hot fudge for on your sundaes and stuff, that's always the best. And we had our birthday party Sunday, and Sunday wasn't our birthday. Monday was. The 24th. And my husband was going to go up to his mother's because it's been raining the last, I don't know, since like Thursday. Was it raining Thursday? I feel like it was raining Thursday. It may not have been Thursday. It may have been Friday that it started raining. But anyways, it doesn't really matter. So he wasn't able to go and get it done Friday or Saturday, the mowing that he needed to get done. Because like I said, it was raining. And it's like no sunshine now. It's gloomy outside and it's not very pretty out. Something somewhere isn't right here. because I went over one too many here. You are wrong. But Sunday was finally the day that it was gonna not be raining, and she wouldn't let last weekend. Well, the weekend before that, it was actually like, I mean, it wasn't as warm as it was during the week, but it wasn't raining out, and it was sunny out and stuff. And I mean, the grass didn't have to be mowed or anything like that, but it would have been. It was enough that it could be mowed, and we had looked at the forecast, and we knew it was supposed to pretty much rain for the next. I forget how many days it's supposed to rain now, but there's quite a few days in a row that it's just supposed to rain, and it's not like a downpouring of rain or anything. Like it's kind of, it's a little more than a sprinkle, but it's not a downpour. It's kind of like a steady rain, but not so much of a steady rain that it's, I don't know how to describe it. Just slightly more than a sprinkle, I'll put it that way. So it's enough that it's like you can't go outside and mow the grass or anything like that. And it's enough that you don't want to go outside and spend time outside because you're going to get wet. But it's not like it would dry. Like if the sun would come up, it would dry quickly. But we have so many overcast days and things like that. So Sunday, it was an overcast day. We woke up in the morning, and apparently it had rained. I mean, obviously it rained Saturday, but it rained quite a bit into the night. And we were like, oh no. We got up and our grass was soaked. And of course it was just, it wasn't raining at that point, but it was just very gloomy out. And no sunshine whatsoever. It was overcast. There was nothing that was going to dry it up. And he was like, well, I'll go up and I'll see and if I can mow it. And of course she didn't want it mowed the week before because she was like, oh, it's not necessary. Don't do it, because his mom lives a good 25 minutes from our house. And of course my husband, he was like, all right, that's one less lawn he's got to do. He didn't really think it all through and just left it go. And then Grandma Joanne, she also didn't want her grass mowed last week. And we tried talking her into it because we knew that it was supposed to rain all this weekend. And she had a company come in and spray the yard for weeds and add the spray fertilizer and things like that. And we knew every year when she gets that done, like within a couple days, it's like a full-on jungle out there. And she literally had it. We go to her house every Saturday. So we knew that throughout the week, especially also with the rain that we were getting, that her grass was going to go nuts because she got it sprayed. It was a Friday that it got sprayed, and we were there Saturday. So, of course, it hadn't went crazy yet. But she didn't want hers mowed yet. So, we're not going to force somebody to do something they don't want. And so we were like, okay. And then, of course, this week, both his mom and Grandma Joanne had told us, it went crazy. It's insane. And Grandma Joanne has 2 little chihuahuas named Nipper and Tucker. And she said, poor little Nipper, Nipper's probably like 3 pounds, if that. And she's like, poor Nip, he goes out there to go to the bathroom and you can't even see him because he's buried in grass. And she knew that the grass really needed mowed at that point. And we were like, okay. And it wasn't supposed to rain Sunday, so we were like, we'll be over Sunday after Lydia's birthday party, and we'll mow the grass for you. Don't you worry about it. And we were like, oh no, like if something doesn't happen, if the sun doesn't peek out some, like, are we even going to be able to get to mow Grandma Joanne's grass? Because it's like, the grass was so damp and wet, and because of the length of their grass, all you're going to do is sit there and you're just going to clog your mower left and right. And it's not going to be a pleasant experience for anybody. And both of them are very particular about, they like to look like a nice fresh carpet after it's done being mowed with the lines in it, and there's nothing wrong with that. They're very particular with the way that they like their grass, and he knew that if we cut it, that it wasn't gonna look nice, so he was hoping, that he could get up to his mom's and it wasn't gonna be so bad. And he got up to his mom's, and it was still sprinkling up there, so he's like, well, that takes that out. And then she has a well, and something had broke. Some water lines had broke for the well coming in to the house, so he started fixing that. And like, I was expecting him to be, because he left here at like 9 o'clock in the morning. No, he left about 9:30 in the morning. So I expected him to be home. I can't tell what those symbols are. It's like sometime around no later than like 12:30. Because he knew we had Lydia's party going on, and I'd asked him, there was something we forgot, and I asked him to stop and grab it. It wasn't essential, like we didn't have to have it. It was just something that I was like, this will make my life easier. Please grab this. And he didn't get home here until like 10 minutes before 2 o'clock, and our party started at 2 o'clock. And I was just like, what in the world? Like, you knew what time our party was starting, and like, I needed help getting like the balloons blown up and the decorations put up, and I needed help with a lot of things. And like, she requested that I make, the homemade hot fudge. It wasn't like I could make that, real far in advance or anything. Like, that's something, you don't want. And so I wrangled around the other kids, and I had them blowing up balloons, and Lydia was putting down like her tablecloth and things like that. And she was helping blow up balloons, and then she would bring me balloons because she can't figure out how to tie a balloon yet. So once she gets the balloon blown up, she brings it to me and has me tie it. So I'm trying to do 100 things at once. And then he finally walks through the door, and I was just like, you cheater. You got out of doing all this. So it was a very hectic day, but she had a lot of fun. And it wasn't, I mean, it was cold outside, but it wasn't that bad of a day, really. I mean, we got to have some fun. And celebrating her. And I just kind of looked at my husband yesterday on her actual birthday, and I said to him, man, it doesn't feel like she should be 8 years old already. And he's like, you're telling me. He's like, I feel like we got cheated out of some days here somewhere or something. I was like, yeah, I kind of feel like the same thing. Like, it feels like none of the kids should be as old as they are. Like, feels like Lydia should be maybe like 4 years old, and Abby around 9, and Damon maybe around 12 years old, but here he's almost 17 now, and it's just amazing at how quickly all that stuff just, it's like you blink and everything's passed by. I guess we're just gonna stitch in the areas that I can definitely tell what symbol it is. And that's just gonna be that. I can fill in the rest of it because I use my phone a lot for a lot of these patterns. It's just take a picture of it and because I just bought a cheap tablet for a pattern keeper, and no matter what pen we bought for the darn thing, it doesn't, the calibration of it's off. So your pen will draw all over where it's not supposed to, and that frustrates me. So I'll just use my phone. It has a pen. And I just quickly printed off what was already done from my phone. Where's the top of that? There it is. I'm having a hard time focusing today. Yep, so today I'm going to, what I want to do is finish stitching all of this part in here today. And then I've already cleaned my house. I've already taken my shower for the day. I got dressed for the day. I've had my breakfast. I'm gonna have lunch here shortly. And then I want to start cutting out the other sizes of scroll frame covers. Someone just honked. There it is again. Not sure who's honking and why. But yep. Theo, it's okay. Lay down. I love the sound of floss going through. It's so relaxing. The floss just sliding right through there. I just find it so relaxing. Where am I? What am I doing? Okay. I don't know why I keep getting lost, but I keep getting lost. All right, Mr. Radish, you got to move out of my way. I just thought about it. I'm so hungry for a Southside Subs. It's a little mom and pop store. A mom and pop shop Oh, and I love their subs. And they have the best nachos. That's all I can think about right now. But today, one, I can't go get it, so I can't have that. My husband has the car. Two, I don't want to spend the extra money on that. And three, I literally got myself marshmallow fluffs so I can have peanut butter fluffernutters this week for steak and lunch, because I don't know why, but they sounded amazing over the weekend when we went grocery shopping. So that is what I'm going to have for lunch today. They are still out there. I mean, there's quite a lot of trees there too. How many trees? I wouldn't even be able to begin to guess how many trees there. They're like all stacked up right on top of each other too. But there's quite a few of them that they gotta go and trim. Poor guys. But what I don't get is they always save that for last, and I don't understand why they just... I mean, if it was me, it's probably the one part that's the most pain in the butt. I'd want to get it done first. There we go. Alright, well, there's only a couple more symbols that I can actually see and read on this. And we've been hanging out for almost an hour, I suppose. And there's some more things I need to get done. And it is lunchtime, and I mentioned food. And all I can think about is food. Oh, I guess I didn't... Cam is there. Aren't you, Cam? Can I see you smile? Can I see you smile, Cam? Show me your pretty smile. Show me your pretty smile. Show me, say cheese. Say cheese. I forgot to tell you that this one was here. You say here. Let me see you say cheese. Where's your pretty smile? Where's your pretty smile? Let me see you smile. There it is. Let me see you smile. They're here. They're here. We always have the Stitchy buddies here, huh? Everybody likes to see you guys. Yes. Everybody likes to see you guys. All nice and clean, huh? You my bud. You always sit there so that way they can't see you though. You're my buddy, huh? You my buddy? You are my bud. Yep. Alright, guys. That is it for today. Thank you for hanging out with me while we did some more stitching on Lady Justuce. If you like what you see and want to hang out, I do this every single week. There is a video posted for me, usually on Wednesdays. And they're getting much louder out there. So like, subscribe, tell your friends, come hang out, and I will see you guys next time.